Ted Lasso just came back after 3 years, and the moment that actually seals his return isn't the big speech you're expecting. It's a text message, and he doesn't even know who he's really talking to when it happens. Full spoilers for Ted Lasso, Season 4, Episode 1. If you haven't watched it, go do that first, then come back. Quick reset. Season 3 ended with Ted walking away from AFC Richmond, the club, the country, the whole chapter, to go be a full-time dad to Henry back in Kansas. It felt at the time like an actual ending, a clean one. 3 years later, Season 4 opens on that decision paying off in the most unglamorous way possible. Ted's working as an assistant manager at a grocery store. He's fine, he's stable, he's close to Henry, and he is very clearly not okay. In that specific Ted Lasso way where the guy is still handing out kindness to everyone around him, while quietly running on empty himself. Early on, he catches a coworker stealing, and instead of turning it into a punishment, turns it into one of his signature empathy plays. Same Ted, different jersey. Then Rebecca, Keeley, and Higgins show up. Literally, they fly to Kansas City, roll up in an SUV, and drag Ted out for barbecue. AFC Richmond has started a new women's team. It's underfunded and up against a sport that still doesn't take women's football seriously, and Rebecca wants exactly one person to run it. Ted says no, immediately, instinctively, because the entire reason he left was to stop choosing football over his family, and he's not doing that again. But the episode spends its middle stretch quietly building the case against his own no. His mom, Dottie, tells him flat out that she's not buying the happy grocery store manager act because his heart clearly isn't in it. And Rebecca, in the closest thing this episode has to a thesis statement, tells Ted that home was never a place. It's a state of mind. Which, for a guy who spent 3 years telling himself Kansas is home because it has to be, lands harder than it sounds. Here's the detail that actually proves Rebecca's point without a single line of dialogue. The episode keeps cutting back to a closed door in Ted's house that he won't go into. When he finally opens it near the end, it's a shrine, Richmond memorabilia, kept and cared for, tucked away where nobody would see it. He didn't leave Richmond behind. He boxed it up and kept it close. That room is the real answer to whether Ted's actually moved on. And it's the reason the ending hits the way it does. Ted decides to say yes. But instead of doing what he did the first time, leaving his family behind to go chase the job, he texts Michelle with a different idea entirely. What if all three of them moved to London together? Him, Michelle, and Henry, as a unit. The reply comes back. Okay. Ted's relieved, and then it clicks that the reply is a little too quick, a little too casual for Michelle. It's actually Henry texting from his mom's phone. And within seconds, Henry confirms the twist has a second layer. Michelle really did say yes too. Henry's just the one relaying it. It's a small structural trick, but it's doing real work. The show could have just had Michelle say yes directly. Instead, it filters Ted's biggest decision through his kid, which quietly tells you this season isn't a rerun of Ted sacrifices everything for the job. It's Ted trying to get it right this time, with his family in on the decision instead of left behind by it. That's the actual ending. Not Ted returns to coach, but Ted returns without repeating his old mistake. A few things worth knowing heading into Episode 2. Roy Kent and Coach Beard are confirmed back. Several of the men's team actors are not appearing this season, and Trent Krim and Nate are reportedly sitting this one out. Reviews on the premiere itself are split. Some critics like Forbes and the AV Club found the 42-minute runtime baggy for how little actually happens, while others called it a genuinely moving, patient reintroduction to these characters. Either way, the door's open now. Ted, Michelle, and Henry are heading to Richmond together. Ted's coaching the club's first women's team, and Episode 2 airs next Wednesday. That's Season 4, Episode 1. Broken down? Why Ted finally says yes, what that shrine room really tells you, and why the text message twist matters more than it looks like on first watch. Drop a like if this helped, and let me know in the comments. Are you here for Season 4, or did Season 3 feel like the real ending to you? Subscribe for a breakdown every Wednesday this season. See you in the next one.